Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back to cover this Prizepicks slate for NBA today. I just covered the DraftKings and FanDuel picks, so you can check that video out if you wanted to. This one will look at the Prizepicks board, give you some plays that I like, and we'll probably build an entry. So let's get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button for me. You can subscribe and check out all the other socials down in the description. Starting off with the points board, we have Embiid at 24.5. He finished right at 24 points last game. He was playing really well. The fourth quarter, didn't have to do much. Didn't have to do much in the second half in general with James Harden just taking over. Harden took over the entire fourth. So he could have easily hit this over. I think it was 25. It was at 24.5 last game. But today, going back to Miami, the first time Embiid's played in Miami this series, we're probably going to have to rely on him. We've seen the role players struggle a little bit more when they've been on the road for the entire playoffs. So for this one, give me Embiid over 24.5. Next guy that's been playing really well for Miami has been Jimmy Butler. He put out 40 real-life points, 33 the game before. You can easily take him over at this 25.5. I think I like his points, rebounds, assist prop a little bit better, but I have no problem if you want to take Butler over 25.5. Then James Harden finally scored over 25 points for the first time in a long time, in the playoffs at least. Most of that came in the fourth, like 15 or 16 points for him came in the fourth. But overall, I don't feel good about taking the over 20.5. He shot really well from the outside, 6 of 10 from distance. Can't really rely on that every game from a guy like Harden, who hasn't done that. Wasn't even hit more than 2 threes since the middle of April. And then Bam at 17.5. He's a guy that's been good for them. He kind of had a good game. One of the first game with Embiid back, he struggled. Second game with Embiid back, he played better. He's a guy that's averaged a lot more at home than on the road in the playoffs. So at 17.5, I think you can take the over on Bam, especially if they're a little bit shorthanded today, if there is no Kyle Lowry. Tobias, 14.5. He really stepped up nicely the first few games in the series. But now that Embiid is back, we've seen Tobias kind of go back to himself, not really taking a lot of shots. In the shots that he is taking, he's probably not shooting with as much confidence now that he hasn't played well the last few games. So I don't mind it, but I'll probably stay away. Maxey, 19.5. Same type of deal. Harden took more shots last game because he was shooting the ball well and they were going in. But Maxey is a guy that we know he doesn't need a lot of shots to score points because he can get to the basket a bit. And he takes some good shots. And he's actually been knocking down his threes. So he's hit like 6 of his last 7 threes. So I don't feel good about taking the over 19.5 there. Luka, 31.5. Suns not making it easy for him. It was easy for him in the first couple of games, last couple of games. It's been defended differently, and you just couldn't buy a 3 last game. Only had 1 of 10 from distance, finished with 26 points. He did do well on the road in the first couple of games. 31.5. It's a fine prop, but I probably like some smaller numbers and some different numbers from Luka. Next up, Devin Booker. He hit this easily last game. He had to without Chris Paul for most of the game with the foul trouble that he was dealing with. At home, 27.5 for Devin Booker. Seems like a good number. Further down, we have Brunson at 18.5. Don't feel great about that. Chris Paul, 15.5. No, he was dealing with foul trouble last game and then the game before that. Just didn't take as many shots. Now that they're back at home in Phoenix, I think Chris Paul will step up and be a little bit more aggressive. Finney Smith is only at 12.5. This is one that I do like. He plays monster minutes for them. Even though you don't expect him to knock down 8 threes, you don't really need him to at this number. So he's one that we can definitely go back to if you needed a different prop to look at. And then I don't have too much interest in the rest. One guy that maybe looks good is Jay Crowder, just because he's playing bigger minutes and he has been playing well. So he's one that you can get behind at 10.5. Bullock maybe at 9.5, but don't have a strong feel on 8 and ever. And Bridges at 12.5. I think probably like Crowder a little bit more. Moving over to the assist number, we have Embiid at 2.5 assists. He's not really known to get a lot of assists. If he's being double-teamed, he can easily pass out of it and get those assists, but it hasn't really been the case in the first 2 games that he's played in the series. Butler at 5.5, that looks like a good number, especially if there is no Kyle Lowry. More ball handling for Jimmy Butler. That number should go up throughout the day if or when Kyle Lowry gets ruled out. And then don't have much interest in the rest. We haven't seen Chris Paul really rack up a lot of assists in this series. Probably will come very soon. He's called a point guard for a reason. So at 8.5 assists, I wouldn't take the over, but I definitely don't fault you if you do, just because I have no confidence in that right now. Do like Luka, though. He's been facilitating for his teammates more. At 8 assists, seems like a push. Could be the worst case. He's playing bigger minutes. He's dishing out to like Finney Smith and Maxi Kleber from the outside, so he's one that we can probably get back to if we needed to. The rebounds prop, we have Embiid at 11. He hit that at the end of the game, or he was at 10.5 last game. He hit that at 11 last game. Next couple of guys would be Butler at 6.5. He didn't really do that last game, but he's still been crashing the glass a lot this series, so that's one that you can, that's not the worst number at 6.5. I probably wouldn't get to Harden at 6.5 though, even though he has shown that. Tobias started off doing great from the rebounding. He still gets you rebounds, but with Embiid back, is not as much of a lock for Tobias to really crash the glass too much. Luka at 9.5 rebounds. He's a guy that always likes to get the rebound just so he can get out and push a bit and transition. Finney Smith, 5 rebounds. Don't have great confidence in that. I like his points better. I like his points, rebounds, assists better. And that's kind of it. Don't have much interest in this board at all. We'll probably get back to the points board. Over at the points, rebounds, assists, I like Jimmy Butler, 38.5. If he's not going to be scoring, which is probably unlikely the way that he's been dominating the series and still been doing a good job facilitating for his teammates, that could increase today. Taking his points, rebounds, assists over, taking Embiid over, taking the superstars to really play well in this one. Some other guys that look appealing would be maybe going down to Devin Booker at 38.5. I mean, Chris Paul's only 29.5, so that looks like a reasonable number. And then you have Reggie Bullock at 14.5. That's going to be like a few threes, some rebounds, and hopefully he can hit that. And then Crowder at 19.5 looks decent as well. 3 points made. I actually do like the under here. I'm taking the under 2.5 threes from James Harden. He had one game last time out with 6 threes. Other than that, he hasn't even had more than 2 threes in quite some time. So I'm taking the under here back in Miami. I think this will be one that you might be sweating a little bit if he continues to shoot. But if he gets off to a poor start, then Harden will probably stop taking some threes and look to drive to the basket a bit. And I don't have much interest taking the overs on anybody else. Like Finney Smith did get you 8 threes last game and 4 the game before, but still, that's counting on 3 threes is still a lot from any type of player, especially like Finney Smith. So these are 3 that I really like. See if there's anybody block shots, not too much. Double-double. Nope. Blocks and steals. Once they have Jimmy Butler here, maybe you can go there. But going back over to the points board, see if we can get to one other guy to make this potentially a 10x type of board, and hope that we can get that, or at least do the 5x if you play it in the flex position. See, maybe we'll go to points, rebounds, assists. Finney Smith, 18.5. He's able to get you some rebounds, get you some shots made. I think this isn't the worst type of prop. I'll go ahead and put in Finney Smith over 18.5 points, rebounds, assists. So that's it. Those are the 4 props I like. Recap them quickly. Embiid over 24.5 points, Butler over 30.5 points, rebounds, assist, Harden under 2.5 threes, and Finney Smith over 18.5 PRA. That's all I got. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. Best of luck, and I'll see you all next time.